and welcome back to Switched to Linux. Well, we have a couple different things we're going to record today. The first is we're going to be talking about an Amazon review issue, which may or may not be problematic. Still looking at this one. There's some things to look at, there's some things to not look at, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out indeed. We'll figure it out indeed. And then we're going to look at making the most of XFCE on Manjaro. We're going to be recording that one, probably push that one out tomorrow. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on over to see who is online. Not a lot of folks online right now. I think last time I checked, Luke Smith was still on. So, man, if I knew he was on, I'd go watch his. He's a great channel. All right. Emery Music, greetings to you. How's it going there? Mr. Night Fluffy, hello. Serge, greetings. I will get to calculate when I get to calculate. It is low priority for me right now. Babuntu, hello there. How are you? All right, Ben Laird, how's it going there? Greetings, Scotland. How are you? Pizza. How's it going there? Forgot I had this Firefox tab open, so the intro scared the heck out of me when I was watching Polymatter. Ha 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 ha! Pizza, come join us. Thomas Holt, greetings to you. Greetings to you. All right. Let's see. We will go ahead and jump on over to... I think we're going to go ahead and start talking about our topic first, and then we'll jump back on. A lot of folks still jumping on. Maybe I'll give it a few more minutes, see if a couple more folks jump on. Robert Fitzpatrick, greetings to you. Doozen, how's it going? Is it Doozen? Susan Doozen? Yeah. Hello there. Greetings. Happened to me before too. Yeah, I've actually had it on my development computer because I used to do all my thumbnails on the other computer and then move things over. And then sometimes I'd leave that thing open because I was grabbing the URL and I forget it's there. And then I start the news and then the thing starts. It's kind of creepy. Ah. Do a Kali tutorial installation. I'll think about it. Let's see. Not a fan of Luke Smith. Toxic community behind Arch and Gen 2. Well, Luke Smith is that except the YouTuber. Yeah. I don't know much about his community. You know, I've had good luck with Arch. I don't mind Arch. I'm not sure I'd, interact with the community a whole lot. If I had interacted with the community a whole lot, I might actually have a slightly different opinion. I don't know. But anyway, let's go ahead and push my record button and we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome back to Switched to Linux. Does Amazon have a review problem? We're going to be looking at an article from The Guardian today to address that very issue. All right, so what we're going to look at here is there was an article that came out today, oh, maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday afternoon, from The Guardian, basically saying Amazon shoppers misled by bundled star ratings and reviews. So what they're basically saying is that there's issues on the review things, and Amazon reviews have had its number of issues over the years. One of them is, of course, that it's very possible to buy reviews. And there's legitimate sites that, now some of the, quote, buying review sites, they don't guarantee you, like there's scummy ones and there's not scummy ones. Not the scummy ones is pay us money and we'll have an Indian call center get up there and give you and spam your profile with a bunch of 5-star reviews, and people recognize that. The last scummy ones is in the author world, at least, and I don't know how this works in other fields, but as an author, you used to be able to buy a package, and basically it was companies that had mailing lists of people who did author reviews, and some of these still exist. I've looked into some of them, and these are not scummy. These do not give you 5-star reviews. It is literally you buy the service, the company picks up the books, and then they will pay the reviewers to get the book, read the book, and give an honest review on Amazon. And it's used to be called an Amazon Professional Reviewers. Those programs in the author world are generally a decent thing because you will get some people that love the book and love the style, and you get some of them that are like, maybe not. And so you're not guaranteed 5-star reviews, you're guaranteed reviews, honest reviews. And so there's two things in that industry. Obviously, the more integrated one is that last option. The less integrated one is paying a Chinese call center or an Indian call center to spam your profile with 100 reviews for 30 bucks. And that is one of the things to look at. But the problem with Amazon is that reviews carry with it a lot of credit, and the problem is sometimes the reviews are not necessarily good, sometimes they are. Now, another issue is there's requirements as to who can leave a review. So you can't just create an Amazon account and leave a review. Right now, as of now, you have to have an Amazon account, have an actual credit card on file, which is odd to me, and then you have to have spent over $50. I think as long as I have actually spent my own money to buy a product, I should be able to review it, no matter how you got that money. And frankly, they don't have that option. So if you go and look at an Amazon review, there is a verified purchase option, which means that the person bought the thing through Amazon and they're using that Amazon link. Now, does that always carry with it the most weight? It may not. The problem is with that system is that it's very possible for me as an author to give you a copy of the book. You want to get on and give it a legitimate review, but it doesn't show purchase verified because it doesn't. Okay, because I've given you the copy of the book. So there's a little bit of issue in the world in that arena. But let's go ahead and have a look at what The Guardian is talking about. Basically, what Amazon will do is in some instances is they will bundle reviews. And so what they're looking at is there's some badly translated books. So if you go back into the public domain, you can grab a lot of books. Now, not everybody can just grab a public domain book, reformat it, and put it on Amazon. If it's something that is in the public domain, the requirements to put that on Amazon is it has to have some extra merit. So maybe it has an extra literary review. Maybe it has a specific translation. Maybe it has whatever it happens to be. But it turns out that a lot of these things that we're looking at seem to have scraped from the public domain, thrown something together and just tossed it up for sale or maybe even for free. And then these guys got bundled together in reviews. And so what they're looking at here, what they found in their research, badly translated or updated Kindle versions. And they're looking at some Jane Austen books. They're looking at TV versions, you know, actual Hollywood releases versus things that were clearly pirated, sold as not pirated. Then they had, you know, there's some reviews for those, complaints from consumers who had been misled because of bundled things. And so here's what they're looking at. Now, you had to go to the UK to see this. In fact, they have a picture here. And I want to see, is this still the case? And as of today, it is. So what I did is I searched specifically for the Collins Classic Pride and Prejudice. And then here's the Collins Classic Persuasion. Notice that the reviews is exactly the same. Now, we're going in and looking at these two live. I have not done this yet. My guess is these are going to be bundled together products, and effectively it's going to be about the same. That's my guess. All right, so if we come on down to reviews. Now, again, this is only... Can I get to reviews? Please? Thank you. All right, so this is, again, on the UK version of Amazon. We are on the UK version of Amazon right now. I got to get back down to the reviews again. It's like I got to scroll down a couple times to get it to pop up on my reviews. All right, let's just click this button here. That should get me. Maybe. All right, so here is the reviews that we have. I'm trying to get to reviews on this one here, and I can't seem to get there. Transferring. All right, let's just start over here and finish that guy. Hopefully finish loaded. So here we have a variety. So you can see this mark here, top 500 reviewer. These are the ones we're talking about. These people actually make careers out of joining mailing lists to get reviews. Some of them it's paid books. Some of them it's different things. All right, so here's our reviews over here. And you'll see that they are exactly the same reviews. In fact, it's the same URL. Exactly. We've landed on the page. You can't see the URL is exactly the same. And so whether we got here through persuasion or whether we got here through Pride and Prejudice, literally it's the exact same. You can kind of see what we're doing here. Nothing is changing. And so what they're looking at here is that if we go back to this book, they have linked all of these guys together in such a way that it's causing these. The UK Amazon site does not seem to work very well. So literally they have linked every one of their products together. There are 2,730 formats and editions. So whether you're looking for Pride or Prejudice, or you're looking for Persuasion, or you're looking for anything else done by this author, by this particular publisher, you're actually going to find, there's so many of them, it's not even pulling them up. You're actually going to find that you can find, look at all these different editions. You're actually going to find that you're going to land on these, and what they're doing is this publisher should be kicked off of Amazon, is what we're saying. What they're doing is they're linking all of their books together in such a way that all of their reviews count for all of their books, and so they all jump up and get a high sales ranking. And they're doing this to game the system. Amazon UK needs to shut down this publisher. They're a scammy publisher. And this is the type of thing that we're talking about, that the Guardian article is talking about. And presumably if we search for, they said Harry Potter does the same thing. Let's have a look at the Harry Potter books. So I'm not showing that, just searching for Harry Potter. We are seeing that the review numbers and counts are different. You can get the full collection. So I'd have to dig into it, and they did not give us a specific explanation as to what was going on. Now, is this a global issue? Apparently it's not, because if you head on over to the UK version and look up, here is the same Collins Classic Pride and Prejudice and Collins Classic Persuasion. You'll see that these actually are listed as separate products with their own separate reviews, even though the publisher is the same. Now, this is because the platforms work completely different. So much so that if you buy my books in USA and you buy my books in the UK, I actually get two separate payouts. I get one for the US and I get one for the UK. And so this is because Amazon runs differently, and there's different laws dictating how they do different things, and it really causes a lot of confusion in the world. But it's not something that is completely solved. And I remember I was looking up hand-powered washing machines at one point in time. And so this is something that pops up. Now, this is a case where this company, Avalon Bay, has two similar related products. One of these is a washing machine, and one of these is a hand spin dryer. But what you see is that they share reviews. And so if you were to look through the customer reviews on this product, you'll see that some of them will indicate what the product is for. Some of them will not. And so as you're reading through the reviews, you don't know if they're talking about the washing machine or if you're talking about the dryer, which are sharing reviews and different things. Of course, this is probably the same exact product that some other company is now pushing. Looks exactly like the same product. In fact, just a different label on it. Let's go back to this one. See that? Look at that. Same thing. Just different, different naming label. You know, manufactured at the same location. And this is the type of thing we're talking about. There's a lot of these issues. Now, there's places that bundling reviews like this is actually a good thing. And this is when you get into books. So this is, of course, my book, Testing and Temptations, which is available as a Kindle, an audiobook, or a paperback. And with this book, you can pick this book up, and whether you're reviewing it on which one of the platforms, the review will show up with the same starring review on each one. I'm not sure why my site just decided it wanted to reload itself, but it did. So whether you're looking up the Kindle, the paperback, or the audiobook version, it's going to be the same. And what you're going to find is that the star reviews are the same. Now, the only exception is if you go over and review the book, the audiobook directly on Audible, because there's 2 reviews. I think one of those might feed into Amazon, but the other review is actually for the narrator. So you can review the narrator individually as you can review the book itself, the content. And so this is where this bundling is a good thing, but apparently in UK, you can bundle it and combine them all together. So I actually have 3 different books available. Of course, this is the old one. I actually have 3 different books available, and they all have their own separate reviews, their own separate platform. But any one of these will all link in and give the same review thing for each of the individual formats. And so there's a good thing and a good part of what Amazon is doing. So is this article correct from The Guardian? Well, yes and no. Their UK system needs a way to prevent authors from gaming the system like Collins Publishing is doing. But this is not something we necessarily see on the United States. But if a company sells this, if the company bundles the 2 products together, like the washing machine and the dryer, then you don't know which one is which, and the reviews of one will bolster or hurt the reviews of the other. Now, there's other places you can get reviews. So like Goodreads, of course, if you are a bookophile, Goodreads is like a social account for writers, readers, writers, authors, and things. So these will actually carry with it different reviews, and actually most sites not wanting to do as much with Amazon will actually pull the reviews in from Goodreads. Joke's on them though, Goodreads is actually owned by Amazon. But with that being said, you can actually use these. Now, if you are actually interested in this book, Testing and Temptations, I have a Goodreads giveaway going on this book right now, which is until April 18th. We're giving away 100 copies. 52 have requested it, so you can join in over there if you use that platform. So Amazon reviews. Is this a good issue? Is this a bad issue? Is this like, oh, the end of the world? It depends on where you are. If you're reliant on the UK version, and my guess is all of them but the US version is probably going to have that same issue. Here in the US, it's not as bad. I think Amazon does a decent job with their rating systems. I would like to see a few changes in place. Like I said, if I've legitimately bought something on your platform, no matter how I bought it, I should at least be able to review that product I bought. And right now you can't. I'd also like them. I actually have other people that have left legitimate reviews for my books on Amazon that Amazon has rejected the review for apparently no good reason. That's a problem, because as an indie author, I rely on reviews for bolstering them up. In fact, some of the programs I could take advantage of for marketing my book, I can't until I have a certain number of reviews on the book as a whole on Amazon. And so Amazon needs to do a little bit of work, but at the same time, Amazon is they're in between a rock and a hard place. So that's kind of my thoughts. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. And once again, if there is an independent author that you know, definitely help support their work. There are better places to buy from them from Amazon. At my site, it's directly at ourwalkinchrist.com. And I have other places you can buy the books from as well if you are interested. So thanks for coming along. You can help me out with taking a look at the links up above me or in the description down below, and follow along on the social media platforms if you want updates on what the channel's doing. So thanks for coming along, and hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, that's the first one done. Let's see. Don't think Arch is a bad distro, but I hate the community. A Manjaro video got so many hate comments that people were saying I should quit YouTube because I don't know what I talk about. Yeah, and that's the problem. The video content, is there a smaller, similar to Puppy Linux distro? I think Sparky. There's a couple really small ones too. I don't remember all of them. The Amazon article was written on the Washington Compost. I don't know. Just wouldn't be, I guess. Been there even one more dozen times to Scotland. Don't like Amazon. Ordered an item and they also billed me for Amazon Prime. Got money back a couple weeks later. Yeah, you gotta watch because they try and upsell that Amazon Prime. You just gotta be vigilant. Anytime you're on a on a shopping site. Like there's a marketing system that I wanted to look into, and it's like, hey, $27 for unlimited access for the system. It supposedly makes ebooks well, and I'm gonna give that a test. Because I just finished another book last night, and I'm going to run it through there and see if it does a good job with ebooks. So there's my intro page. So I'm going to see if it does a good job with ebooks or not. But, man, it's like for a $27 thing, they put you through like 6 different upsell screens with videos. It's like, dude, you guys are bad at marketing because I'm about to just cancel the cart altogether, you know. But it was something I wanted to try, and I thought the price was good. So I don't know. We'll see if it works. Yes, DSL. I forgot about Damn Small Linux. Yep. It took me 16 minutes to realize it was just about Amazon's review problem and not Friday night's news, to be fair. Just got up like 25 minutes ago. Haven't had a tea yet. Well, go get yourself some tea. Amazon is toxic for local bookshops. It's sad I can't find my favorite books anymore. Yeah. And that's kind of a... it's a crazy situation. It is a crazy situation with respect to all of that, because Amazon itself, there's a lot of really good things about Amazon. So like I've been experimenting with using safety razors instead of the disposable things. I can go to any of the local stores around here and buy 5 razors for that refill for $5. On Amazon, I can buy 100 of them for $5. I'm going to buy them from Amazon. My apologies. But to be fair, on almost everything I buy, I check local sources first. But oftentimes I get the case where I'll go into Best Buy. Oh, and literally I was like, okay, let's go with this hard drive. Oh, we don't have those in stock. We can order you one. Like, dude, I can order on Amazon and I'll be paying less money and it comes right to my mailing location. I don't have to come here. They're like, oh, well, we'll ship something. No, Best Buy is not getting my address. You can take that idea and go shove it somewhere. Because the last thing I need is Best Buy knowing where I live. All right? So, and that's the thing. And Amazon has done a good job of doing what they're doing, but the sad part is that their competitors are dropping the ball. They are looking at the whole situation going, it's okay if we price match Amazon. It's okay if we, if we get in on the online shopping thing, because they think that Amazon versus online, there's a reality that some people don't want to put all that information on other small random sites. That's why my books are available on Amazon. Not everybody wants to go to ourwalkinchrist.com and check out using my PayPal cart, which is the only option I have on there right now. But a lot of people have an Amazon account. And as sad as it is, Amazon actually gives me better royalties than anyone else in the market. And I can set the royalties that I get at like Barnes & Noble and other places like that. But Amazon gives indie authors a bigger cut and more tools for selling their books. And so that's the sad reality. If you want to be an author, you've got to be on Amazon. Now, I don't like their KDP Select stuff. I don't like the fact that to sell it on Audible, if I sell it exclusively on Amazon, they give me a bigger cut. If I sell it Amazon and other places, they only give me 25%. And man, like the last audiobook I did, that thing took me, I think that thing took me about 15, 20 hours easy to do, maybe more. And you talk about that type of investment, and then Amazon wants to keep 75% of that. Well, at least they have the infrastructure for delivery, I don't have to worry about that. So it's good and it's bad. Oftentimes, if the bookstores, your local small bookstores, paid more attention to the markets, they could compete with Amazon at a local level, because most people will pay more money to get the product today. But you can't have your little bookstore and then every time somebody comes in to order a book, say, oh, we can order that for you. Oh, we can order that for you. Oh, we can order that for you. Dude, this is 2019. I can order it for me. The question is if you got it in place. Now, a small bookstore can't have every book in the history of the universe in stock. And so if I go in there and I go, okay, I want to find some obscure Neil Postman book from 1982. I don't necessarily expect he's going to have that on his shelf. But if the small local bookstores paid attention to what's selling big on Amazon right now and kept a stock inventory of 3 or 4 of those copies of those books on hand, they would absolutely more than triple their revenues, because when people come in to buy a book, they don't say, we can order that for you. They say, it's right here on the left. Okay, now, is that a big risk? It's not, because to get in a bookstore, a publisher needs to have an option that the publisher or the bookstore can return the copies of the books if they're not sold. So the bookstore doesn't actually lose a lot. Now, not every instance can they do that, and this is where companies like Walmart have been hurting some distribution networks by bulk ordering things and sending it all back. But the reality is, if you go in, and that's how I have my system set up. That's why I don't get as high a royalty on Barnes & Noble if you buy it on Barnes & Noble, is because I want to position it that if a Barnes & Noble wanted to order a copy of a book and have it on the shelf, which is not super likely unless I get into #1 on every category, then it's already set up for that. But small independent bookstores might want to stock my books. They can order them from Ingram, go through, list the book, and if they don't sell in a year or two, they can actually take those off and ship them back. I think it's within a year. They can actually take them off the shelf and ship them back and get their money back. And so the bookstores, it's not Amazon's fault the small bookstores are closing down. It's the small bookstores aren't keeping up with the market. They're not keeping up with the best sellers. They're not keeping up with what people are interested in buying, and they're not keeping inventory on hand. They're falling into this fallacy that, oh, people buy stuff online, therefore I can sell stuff online too. That doesn't work for a local small bookstore. That works for a huge retailer. But if you go to your local bookstore and they're paying attention to what's on the markets and what people are actually buying and keep those books on hand, they will do well. And some of them do. So, rant on books. I should have recorded that rant. That was a good one. How dare I'm using Amazon? Yes, for the reasons herein inside my rant. I think the Amazon Prime is a great deal. Gives you so many things. It could be a good deal. I'm not big on it, but yes, it can be a good deal. All right. Local bookstore, they pay 50% of the price they sell it for used books. So I always take my books there when I'm done reading it. Usually spend money at 7-Eleven. All right. Alrighty, let me close that. We're going to go ahead and jump into our next topic. And our next topic, we're going to record a video on theming XFCE. Hopefully I can remember everything about theming XFCE. Alright, go ahead and move this guy on over here. Start me up some Manjaro. Greetings, Lamer. How's it going there? Oh, bummer. I gotta... Hold on. I forgot to kick my... forgot to kick the distro out of the box. There we go. Remove disk. There we are. Now we gotta start it up. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, we are going to continue in our discussion on different desktop environments and how to set them up and theme them and how to get the most out of your environments. And so we're going to be looking at XFCE today. This is a great little desktop. It kind of has a slightly older feel to it, more of a classic desktop setup. And we're going to be looking at Manjaro XFCE today, and mostly because I think that the Manjaro build has the best implementation of XFCE. That's my opinion. You are absolutely welcome to disagree, and let me know what you think is the best implementation in the description down below. Of course, you can't write to the descriptions, can you? So tell me in the comments. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump on over. Most of what I like about it is I like the theming mostly. One of the big negatives I think about XFCE is it generally can look like a very old platform. They do a really good job, though, on Manjaro of making it look very modern, which is good. I think is a huge credit to the system. So let's go ahead and walk through XFCE. Now, of course, depending on what you're using, Manjaro sets us up like a traditional Windows type platform. We have, there's a settings manager. We have our updates are down here in the bottom. We have our clock. We have our logout. We have a menu over here. And then, of course, anything that we open up will appear down here in the taskbar. If you go do like an MX Linux, which is also a great implementation, it's going to put the bar kind of on the side. Your Ubuntu is going to put it on the top like Ubuntu likes to do. These are all relatively easy things to change and adjust. And what we're going to look at here, though, is how to get started with this. So, of course, with our basic setup, we have a menu here, and this is one of these menus that you can actually extract this out. So if you want the whole thing like this, or however size you want it to be, you can go ahead and set the menu be like that. And so it's just a simple drag and drop. Your menu also has at the very top, they have a settings, which is, I love this because one of the biggest concerns I have with Mate is I'm constantly lost as to how to get to all of the settings. They make it very easy. We have a lock screen, we have a switch user, and we have a logout all at the top. We can search for anything in here just by doing a search in here. And then, of course, we have our favorite applications recently used, and then we have lists of everything that we have. Okay, so XFCE generally comes with Thunar as a file manager, which is a lightweight. I don't really have any specific complaints about it. But let's go ahead and start by looking into our settings. So our variety of settings, we have personal up at the top. The About Me is just your information that you want. So if you want a picture or anything else like that, you can do that. The appearance, this is where your theming is at. And so with our theming here, you can see what it's doing is it's kind of adjusting it'll adjust the panels, the windows. There's a variety of different things. Some of these look old and dated. Some of them look more modern. You do have a fairly limited ability to adjust the themes unless you want to get into learning a little bit more about like CSS or things like that. You can actually edit the configuration files on the platform. We're going to go ahead, and I think this is the default. We're going to go ahead and keep it there. Here's our icons. We have a variety of different icons to choose from, so just select the icon packs that you want to use. And it's going to adjust your icons. Go ahead and keep the defaults. Here's our fonts, and of course we can adjust our font scaling as well, so you can go ahead and control your font DPIs there. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it a little bit larger for the purpose of the video. Hopefully that'll help you see a little bit better. And then just various icon settings, so menu items, icons, so these are you going to show your icons in the menus or not? Well, I thought that's what that one was going to do. We might need to wait for it. I don't know. Sometimes the settings, I'm never quite sure exactly which one it is. And those actually could also be the menus up at the top as well. Let me double check these ones here. Okay, so that's these menus up here. So we can put the icons on these menus or not. So these are the icons over here for the menus, and then the buttons as if there's a prompt box. So you'll kind of see here the help with the button there. It'll have the image there. So you have that. I don't think you can disable the icons on the menus there, at least not easily. I'm going to go back to all settings here. The desktop, of course, this is your wallpapers. So, of course, this is our default Manjaro wallpaper. We have a variety of wallpapers we can work with here. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, we're going with that one. I like that wallpaper. That's nice. So here's our menus. Let's see. Include applications menu on the desktop, right click. So if I get rid of that, what this is going to do is you'll see in the menu here, we can create a new windows, create launchers, create a variety of different things. If we toggle this on, then we have applications in the menu here. So if you want to right click and grab that application, you can do that. Show the application icons in the menus. And then here's our icons. Okay, so this is if there's like an image on the desktop, will it show the thumbnails or not? Here's your default icons. All right, so file manager settings. This will determine we have the side pane. Here's the icons on the side pane of the manager again. So if you want to adjust these, you can make these larger or smaller as you see fit. And then let's look at what the icons are doing and tree list icons. Behavior, you can set things to single activate. The default is to double activate, at least on Manjaro. So of course the single, clicking it once will enter into the folder. And if you go back to the double, then you have to click it twice. And then of course you can specify a delay. You can open folders in new tabs on a middle click. You can open Thunar new instances inside of tabs. So there's some different options that you can look at there as well. And let's see what else is important. We're going to get to the panel in a little bit. Of course, preferred applications. What would you prefer for your web browser, mail reader, utilities, or your terminal? Of course, this one only has one set on each of those. Workspaces, window manager. You can see there's a variety of different settings inside of all of these. I think the things we're going to be looking at the most is going to be looking at your panel. So this is kind of the thing that a lot of people like information on. So inside of our properties, there's not a lot inside of here. So mostly if you want to go into your panel preferences, this is actually where you'd go to make some panel adjustments. So we have display, we have appearance, we have items. So the appearance, of course, this guy here, you can use a solid color, you can use a background image, or you can use the system style. Here you can adjust the icons on the panels. Now you note that this does not do every icon, just certain of them. Then there's automatic, and then here's our opacity. So if you want to set your opacity, so we have the enter and the leave. The enter is basically hover over, the leave is hover off. So if you want to do something like make the panel smaller and then decrease it, or if you want to make everything disappear when you get on there and drive somebody crazy, you can do that. All right, and then under our display, this we can determine if we want a vertical bar, if we want a desk bar. The desk bar is the default for XFCE. The vertical just displays it vertically, and then horizontal is horizontal. Now with the lock panel turned off, you can actually drag it around. It's the only desktop I know you could literally put the panel in the middle of the screen, which would be a little annoying, but if you want to put it on the top, put it on the bottom, you can put it on the left or on the side, just kind of drop it wherever you want it. Hit the lock panel, that'll prevent you from accidentally moving it. And then don't reserve space on either side. This is going to be for panel adjustments. Now the number of rows, we can set the panel to have a variety of different rows if you want a lot of different rows on there. And then we can actually set our length to only be a certain percentage of the screen. And then most people, of course, in the Windows type mode like that, you can kind of set it up as like a dock type mode there. And I don't think you can center it. All right. So on the items, this is where you can add a variety of different things. Let's go back. I kind of made that a little small. There we are. Let's make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. So on the items here, you can add and remove different things that we have. So if you want to do something like a launcher, you can go ahead and add a launcher to it. Now, your launchers need to be run independently, so you'd have to hit your... got to remember exactly how to set your launchers again. There you go. Add one or more items to the launcher. So if you want to do a launcher, kind of like a quick launch bar, we can add that. We can add that. So now we have two items on the launcher. It did look like it crashed on me a little bit. We'll just go back to panel preferences. I'm going to right click, move it, and I can move it to where I want. I might have to... I need to use XFC a little bit more. There we are. Got to look for the red line there. That should be moving my system there. Let me try and move it just over here. These guys might be locked. Let me go ahead and have a look at these. Find my launcher, and then I can just drag it like this as well. So you can use your up and down buttons to launch different things as well. So now we have a launcher over there. We might need to adjust the properties on that one. See if I can make that a little bit wider. We're going to go ahead and kick that one off. I think you can actually set a separate launcher for each item, if I remember correctly. And that way I can set, should be available to set your launcher out separately. If I remember correctly, I think you can actually come on to, we have Skype online. Wow. I think we can actually, I thought we could actually launch these, add to panel. There we are. Yep. All right. So you can add an item to the panel and then just do one application per launcher is usually what I do to set these up. So you can create your own system. Then you can just use this to easily move things around. So we can have our launcher set up right next to our windows. And here's our external application. Here's our clock. We'll change our clock layout. We can do an analog, a binary, digital, fuzzy, LCD. And then we have a clock format, so we can pick a variety of formats. Then we can actually enter in a custom one as well. So there is your panel adjustments. Of course, you can actually add extra panels. Coming down here to panel, panel preferences, hit add panel, and this adds another panel for us. So this is our panel 0 is the one on the bottom. Panel 1 is one on top. So if we go ahead and slide the panel up here, we can set its width, drop its size down. So if you want to do something like a small, launcher at the top, you can do something like that. And then, of course, add your items to it. So maybe you could do something like enters 100, leave is 0. So get something like this. So you can have multiple different panels. Each one of your panels, of course, are going to have different things. We can add new items to the panel. Here's launchers, separators. I don't support that one, huh? So you can see here that when you hover over the panel, the items that we added will show up on the panel. We can actually get rid of that shadowing as well. Just got to remember exactly how to do it. I'm not remembering exactly how to change the, get rid of the shadowing on the panel. But it's possible to do that. I'll have to look into that part. All right, so there is adding panels, adding items, launchers to the panels. Of course, we have our desktop switcher down there. I usually get rid of that functionality. I'm not a fan of desktop switchers, and I scroll my mouse wheel a little bit too much. So as far as other customizations, we've looked at our settings, we've looked at our panel properties, our setups. Of course, any application inside of here, you can right-click, you can add it to favorites, add it to the desktop, or add it to the panel. So that's nice that you have the right-click option onto any application that you have. And then inside of here, let's see if there's anything else. Some of the things are related just to Manjaro. Firewall configurations. Some people ask about displays. You can come over here to displays. Of course, I'm only running on one monitor right here. But if you were to have multiple monitors, you would actually have the ability to move your displays around inside of here. It should work pretty well. And I believe XFCE actually does support separate desktop pictures on each one of the monitors out of the box, which is a very nice functionality. So that is just briefly working with XFCE. This one is for if you are wanting a super lightweight system or just something that's just kind of quick and easy to work with. A lot of options, a lot of customizability, a lot of functionality to it. Leave your thoughts. Is this your favorite, least favorite, most favorite, middle favorite? Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I gotta stop saying description. Go ahead and leave the comments down below. You can help support the channel. Have a look at the links up above me or in the description down below. And I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Shut down XFCE there. I got to work with XFCE more. All right, let's see. Local bookstores. Let's see. I think I already got there. Looks QT has replaced XFCE for me in the last few months. All right. Used to I didn't care much about Amazon Prime, but when I canceled my subscription, I realized how great they were. Yeah. If you have any question about theming XFCE, use XFCE, and I enjoy theming it. Yep. I am well, Lamer Linux. How are you doing? Beautiful implementation on XFCE on Arch. All right, very cool. Later, pizza. And use Pop! OS. If so, is it anything to use? Pop! OS is, if you like GNOME, it's a very good GNOME implementation. It's based on Ubuntu. Yeah, it's a good distro. I'm not a fan of GNOME, so it's not my favorite, of course, but it is good. It is actually pretty good. I think they have some nice tools, and since it's actually built for System 76. Is it System 76? Yeah, it's System 76. It's built for their computer, so it's an OEM install, which makes the installation like lightning speed. You set it up, you do the install, and then on the first boot is when the user goes in there and configures everything. So there's a lot of really cool things about Pop! OS. Definitely worth looking at. I do not think Pop! OS is better than Linux Mint. No. Linux Mint got Flatpak support, which makes it easier to install stuff like Spotify, Discord, Steam, etc. Not using XFCE, the keyboard shortcuts are barely configurable. Try making screenshots or search with your super key with a few keyboard presses. Yeah, if you're keyboard based, you want to be in GNOME. Absolutely. If you're keyboard based, you want to be in GNOME. Change from Ubuntu to Manjaro. If Ubuntu's working for you, don't change. I never recommend jumping distros, particularly on a production machine, just to change distros. If what you have works, keep it. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's giving you problems, if you can't get things working, then yeah, check it out. Just switch for 3 weeks. Yeah, I'd either stay on Ubuntu. If Ubuntu's not your thing or it's not working well in your system, like Serge says, MX Linux is excellent. MX Linux is based on Debian, so it's not in the Ubuntu family. It has the same desktop environment we just looked at. So it's pretty good. Basically, anything we just did in that video will apply to that desktop. But if Ubuntu's working for you, then great. Ubuntu's working for you. Stick with it. If you feel like you need to get off of it for whatever reason, if something's not working, then yeah, poke around. As far as which one's better, better is a relative term. There's so many factors. You know, your hardware could be a factor. What the applications you use could be a factor. How you use your computer can be a factor. There's a lot of factors that go into which makes a good distro and not. There's no one distro which is better globally across the universe. Manjaro XFCE is pretty good. There has been a few issues with Manjaro in the past, and also very recently I've been hearing of some issues come up with it as well. So, I don't know. Am I always streaming? Nah. Linux Lite 4.4. Yeah, Linux Lite's good. You and Chris Titus Tech about too much now on Mint. Very nice. Very cool, Jennifer Jones. Thanks for watching both of our channels. Chris got some excellent content over there. Charles, my favorite. Then I started to have freezing issues and lockups. Their new grub isn't letting me boot into their OS. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Anyone use Pop OS that hasn't bought System 76? There's some people that have, but I've looked at it. I haven't run it though. You don't think anything's better than Linux Mint? Not usually. Greetings, Anna Rita. How's it going there? You're going keyboard centric. You ought to have a tile in Windows. Yeah, okay, that might be. Yeah, I'll agree to that. What about MX if you want something that's really stable? Best Linux Mint or Pop OS for like gaming? For gaming specifically, neither. You want to go with something running KDE. KDE will suspend a lot of its system things for gaming stuff, and so KDE makes some of the better implementations. So if you're, look for some of the, like Neon might be one you look at because that's like a KDE testing ground, so they're always the latest KDE. Anything that's going to run KDE would be good. Neither of those, neither Linux Mint Cinnamon or Pop OS would be particularly good on gaming because their background, the operating system themselves, takes a lot more resources. Skin Cinnamon install to look like Windows. She has no clue she's using Linux. Nice. Very nice. Depends on the desktop for Linux Mint. Arch Linux. I mean, Arch Linux is fine as long as you know how to fix it when it goes awry. It doesn't usually go awry, but if it does, you want to know how to fix it. Video make me switch to Linux. Very good. Well, thank you, Mr. Neen. I always appreciate that, my friend. All right, well, I think we've hit the bottom of the comments. Is there a cat in the room? Oh, there is a cat in the room. There's a cat in the room, folks. That means that we have to feed the kitty. We got to feed the kitty. Come on, kitty. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Hi. How are you, bud? How are you? Oh boy. Go on. Get your paw in there. Oh yeah, get the paw going. He's got the paw action going. Get it, get it. Yeah, you got it. Here's another one for you. Let's go one more for this camera right over here. Oh, are the finger looking good? Yeah, their finger looking good, aren't they? Yes, they are. Their finger looking good, huh? All right. I'll go ahead and wrap this guy up here. Back paws off the desk, kitty kitty. Back paws off the desk. Larry, which version of wine are you trying? Some of the more recent ones might work a little bit better. Let me look at the Wine HQ. Okay. Okay. Okay, so on Wine HQ, they're indicating that version 7, the late as of released August 27th. Kitty, don't knock my camera off the desk, please. They are saying that with the latest wine version tested, 3.14 on the latest, it will run bronze. So if you have the latest version of wine and the latest version of Logos, that might actually work. If that's the one I'm thinking it is. Is that the correct software we're talking about? The Bible study software. I'm thinking that's one you're talking about. Let's go ahead and have a look at this. Let's see, test results. Test results are very old, may not represent current state. Let's see. Install newest wine tricks from source. So Ubuntu 18.04. Installed wine development 3.14. Login works. After a while, the application will crash, referencing these errors. Attempted to read write. So this guy says not installable with wine version 3.0. This guy says it is installable and does run with 3.14. So apparently the secret is some pie. So try that out. See if that helps out. Put a panel on the top. Is there a way to set programs that you launch to respect the bottom panel and not hide the buttons on the top of the panel behind the panel? If you reserve space for the panel, that should work. But I don't know for sure. I'd have to poke around in it and see. Cute cat. Why, thank you. He says meow. Made him myself. He's actually my space alien handler. Kitty receives virtual cuddles. You got some virtual cuddles, buddy. Yes, you did. You got some virtual cuddles. Already taken over the show. Can you imagine with two cats? I know. I rarely have a double catter around here. The other cat's just too camera shy. Logos 8 is the latest. Okay. Even if you get it to work, any updates crashes the install. Dropping by to say hello. Well, hello to you, Mr. Side Error. Okay. Mitch here. Thanks for the show. Hey, no problem, man. Learn with. All right. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and end the stream for the day. We've fed the kitty. We've done 2 different topics. And I think what we're going to do is jump off, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for coming along. And don't forget to have a look at the links in the descriptions and all the other fun, stuffy stuff. That being said, we're going to look at the kitty cam until I think we've run out of our camera time.